Hello, my beautiful dreamers. This is Luna, and welcome back to Luna's Romance Audiobooks. Tonight I have a story that will mesmerize you, a tale of a she-wolf sold to disappear. So settle in close, my dreamers. Prologue: The Auction Block. I'm standing on an auction block in the middle of the Obsidian Market, and I'm being sold like livestock. Lot 47, the auctioneer announces. Female, age 23, unmated. No particular skills, no remarkable bloodline. Starting bid, 500 silver. 500. The price of a decent horse. That's what I'm worth to my family, to the pack that raised me, to everyone who decided I was expendable. The crowd barely looks at me. I'm unremarkable. Plain brown hair, average height, ordinary features, nothing that draws the eye or captures interest. 500, someone bids. Bored, barely paying attention. Probably looking for cheap labor. 600, another voice, just as disinterested. I stand still, head down, waiting for this humiliation to end, waiting to be sold, waiting to disappear into whatever fate my purchaser decides. That's when I start humming. I don't mean to. It's a nervous habit, a coping mechanism. When anxiety overwhelms me, melodies emerge. Old songs my mother taught me. Lullabies from childhood. Music that soothes the panic threatening to consume me. The melody is soft, barely audible over the auction noise. Just a thread of sound. A fragment of comfort in the middle of devastation. 700, another bid. Still routine, still disinterested. I hum louder. Not intentionally. Just needing the music, needing something familiar, something mine in this moment where everything is being taken. The auction slows, people turn, looking for the source of the sound, the melody that's suddenly cutting through the market chaos. What is that sound? Someone asks. The girl on the block, she's singing, humming, something. It's beautiful, haunting. I've never heard anything like it. The auctioneer looks annoyed. Quiet, girl. This is an auction, not a performance. I stop. Silence myself. Return to being invisible. Forgettable. Ready to disappear. 800, a new voice says. Deep. Commanding. Different from the others. I look up. See a male wolf I don't recognize. Tall. Dark-haired. Silver eyes that see too much. Power radiating from him in waves. 1,000. Another bidder. Suddenly interested. Competitive. 2,000. The silver-eyed male counters. Not hesitating. Not budging. Who is that? Whispers run through the crowd. Why is he bidding so high for that ordinary girl? 3,000. Someone else tries. Testing. Probing. 10,000. The silver-eyed male says. Flatly. Definitively. Ending the competition. The auction hall goes silent. 10,000 silver. For me, the unremarkable, forgettable she-wolf being sold to disappear. 10,000 silver, going once, going twice, sold, to the gentleman in the back. The silver-eyed male approaches the auction block, pays the exorbitant sum without blinking, takes the ownership papers, looks at me with those penetrating silver eyes. You're mine now, he says. Come with me. Why? I whisper. Why pay so much? I'm nobody. Nothing special. Why? Your voice, he says simply. I heard your voice. That's why. I don't understand. Don't know what he means. Don't know who he is or why my humming would matter. Chapter 1. The Unwanted Daughter, ages 8 to 23. Childhood. The disappointment. I was born to the Crescent Moon Pack, third daughter of Beta Aldrich and his mate Serena. My sisters were beautiful, talented, valuable. I was none of those things. Another girl, my father said when I was born. Disappointment heavy in his voice. 3 daughters, no sons. The bloodline ends with me. My mother tried to comfort him. Thalia is healthy. That's what matters. Healthy, but ordinary. Look at her, plain, Small. Nothing remarkable. Celestia has golden hair. Rosanna has exceptional intelligence. What does this one have? Nothing. Nothing. That word defined my childhood. I had nothing special, nothing valuable, nothing that made me worth keeping. Ages 8 to 12. The comparison. Growing up with two exceptional sisters was difficult. Everything I did was compared, measured, found wanting. Celestia is learning advanced combat. She'll be a formidable warrior. What is Thalia doing? Reading. She likes books. Books, how useful. Every pack needs a daughter who reads. The sarcasm cut, deep, constant. I tried to find something I was good at, something that would make me valuable, make me wanted. I tried combat training, was mediocre, tried diplomatic studies, was average, tried healing arts, was unremarkable. Maybe she's a late bloomer, my mother suggested hopefully. Maybe her talents will emerge later. Or maybe she has no talents, my father countered. Some wolves are just ordinary, forgettable. She might be one of them. Ages 13 to 16. The discovery. At 13, I discovered singing. Not that I was good at it, just that it soothed me, calmed my anxiety, gave me something that was mine. I'd sing while alone, while walking in the woods, while organizing the pack library where I spent most of my time hiding from comparisons. You have a pretty voice, a pack elder said once, hearing me hum while shelving books. Soothing, peaceful. Have you trained it? No, I just sing sometimes. It helps me think. You should train it. Voice is a gift, worth developing. But my family didn't agree. Voice training is frivolous, a waste of resources. She needs practical skills, things that make her useful, not singing. So I didn't train. Didn't develop the one thing that brought me joy. Just sang privately, secretly, for myself, because it was mine, even if it wasn't valued. Ages 17 to 20. The matings. At 17, Celestia was mated to an alpha from a neighboring pack. Political alliance, strategic brilliance, everything a first daughter's mating should be. 1 down, my father said proudly. 2 to go. At 19, Rosanna was mated to the son of a high council member. Another excellent match. Another triumph. 2 down, 1 to go. Me, I was the last one. The disappointment still unmated, still unvalued, still taking up space in a family that wanted me gone. We need to mate her off, my father said during a family meeting. I wasn't supposed to hear, but I did. She's 20 now, past prime mating age. No one's showing interest. We need to actively seek matches. Who would want her? Serena asked. Not cruel, just realistic. She's ordinary, plain. No particular skills, no valuable connections. What does she offer? A connection to our family. That's something. Our family already has 2 excellent matches. A third unremarkable daughter adds nothing. Face it, Aldrich. She's unmarketable. Unmarketable, like livestock that won't sell. Like goods no one wants. That's what I was to them. Ages 21 to 23. The burden. By 21, I'd accepted my place. The unwanted daughter. The one taking up resources. The burden the family couldn't offload. I worked in the pack library, earned my keep. Tried to be useful despite being ordinary. Tried to justify my existence. We need to discuss Thalia's situation, my father announced at another family meeting. This time I was present. Forced to sit. Forced to hear what they'd decided. She's 23, unmated, unlikely to attract a mate at this point. She's become a permanent fixture, a dependent we can't move. What are you suggesting? I asked, knowing I wouldn't like the answer. We're suggesting placement elsewhere. A distant pack. A position that removes you from our household. Frees up resources. Allows us to move forward without the burden. You want to send me away. Exile me. Get rid of me. Don't be dramatic. We want to find you appropriate placement. Somewhere you can be useful. Contribute. Not languish here, taking up space. I work. I contribute. I earn my keep in the library. The library is volunteer work. You're not essential. You could be gone tomorrow and nothing would change. That's the problem. You're unnecessary. Unnecessary. Unmarketable. Ordinary. Forgettable. Every word they'd used to describe me over the years. Every label that said I didn't belong. The decision. 3 months before the auction, my father made a final decision. We're auctioning you at the Obsidian Market, selling you to whoever bids, with instructions to relocate you far from here, where you can start fresh. Be someone else's problem instead of ours. You're selling me? Like property? Like I'm goods to be disposed of? We're giving you a chance at a new life. Someone will buy you, give you work, purpose, a place. Just not here. Not with us. Because I'm an embarrassment, a burden, an unwanted daughter you need to eliminate. Don't make this harder than it needs to be, Thalia. This is for the best. For everyone. For everyone except me. But my opinion didn't matter. Never had. I was going to the Obsidian Market. Going to be auctioned. Going to be sold to whoever wanted cheap labor or easy exploitation. My family was selling me to be forgotten, and I had no power to stop them. Chapter 2. The Obsidian Market, the Journey. The journey to the Obsidian Market took 2 days. My father hired a transport, paid minimal fare, sent me with a single bag of belongings. Behave yourself at the market, he instructed. Don't cause problems. Don't embarrass the family name. Just let yourself be sold quietly. Disappear with grace. Grace, you want me to disappear with grace. I want you to accept reality. This is happening. Make the best of it. The transport was crowded. Other wolves being moved, sold, relocated. Some were criminals being sent to labor camps. Some were debtors being sold to cover obligations. Some, like me, were unwanted family members being discarded. What did you do? A young male asked. Curious, not unkind. Existed, I said bitterly. I had the audacity to be ordinary, unremarkable, not valuable enough to keep. Rough. My family's selling me because I'm the 7th son. Too many mouths. Not enough resources. Cheaper to sell me than feed me. We're both disposable then. Yeah. But maybe whoever buys us will be better than whoever's selling us. Can't get worse, right? I wasn't sure about that. Being sold to strangers with unknown intentions seemed potentially much worse, but I didn't say that. Didn't crush his fragile optimism. The market. The Obsidian Market was horrifying, massive, hundreds of auction blocks, thousands of wolves being sold, for labor, for service, for purposes I didn't want to contemplate. Lot 47, a handler said, checking my papers. You'll be block 7. 3rd shift, probably late afternoon. Wait in the holding pen until called. The holding pen was a large fenced area, uncomfortable benches, no privacy, no dignity, just waiting, like livestock, like goods, like exactly what we were being treated as. I sat on a bench, tried to remain calm, tried not to think about what was happening, what came next, who would buy me, what they'd do with me. That's when the anxiety hit. Full force, overwhelming, suffocating. I started humming. My coping mechanism, my comfort. An old lullaby my mother used to sing before she decided I was unmarketable, before she stopped seeing me as a daughter and started seeing me as a burden. The melody helped, steadied my breathing, calmed my racing heart, made the terrifying situation slightly more bearable. You have a pretty voice, an older she-wolf said, sitting nearby, also waiting to be sold. Soothing. What song is that? A lullaby. My mother taught me. Years ago. It's beautiful, peaceful. Keep singing. It helps. Makes this place feel less awful. So I did. Kept humming. Kept singing softly. Kept finding comfort in the one thing that was still mine. The one thing they couldn't take from me, even as they sold everything else. The waiting hours passed. The sun moved across the sky. Morning auctions completed. Afternoon auctions began. My block approached. "Lots 40 through 50, the handler called. "Prepare for auction. You'll be called individually. Stand straight. Look presentable. Don't speak unless asked a direct question. Make this easy for the buyers." We lined up, waiting our turns, watching others be sold. Some went for high prices, young, strong, clearly valuable. Some went for pittance, old, weak, barely worth the trouble. I'd go for pittance. I knew that. Ordinary. Unremarkable. Not worth much. Whoever bought me would be looking for cheap labor. Nothing more. "Lot 47. You're up." I walked to the auction block, climbed the steps, stood in the center. 300 wolves watching. Most not paying attention. I was forgettable, even in a market full of forgettable people. "Lot 47. Female. Age 23. Unmated. No particular skills. No remarkable bloodline. Starting bid, 500 silver." The bidding started. Lackadaisical. Disinterested. I was moving toward being sold for minimal price, minimal value, exactly as expected. That's when my anxiety spiked again. And I started humming. Didn't mean to, just needed the comfort, needed the music, needed something mine in this moment of complete loss. The melody. The melody I hummed was old, ancient even. My mother had taught it to me when I was small, said it was a traditional song, passed down through generations, meaningful in ways she never fully explained. The notes were haunting, complex, layered with harmonics that shouldn't be possible from a single voice, but somehow were. Somehow emerged whenever I sang this particular song. The auction slowed, stopped. People turned, looking for the source. The sound that was suddenly cutting through the market chaos, making them pause, making them listen. What is that? The girl. She's singing, making that sound. I've never heard anything like it. It's extraordinary. The auctioneer looked annoyed, interrupted. His routine disrupted. "Quiet, girl. This is an auction, not a performance." I stopped, immediately, silenced myself, became invisible again, forgettable again, ready to be sold and forgotten again. That's when he bid. The silver-eyed stranger, the one who would change everything. "The claim, 800, he said. First bid, entering the auction late, but entering definitively. The crowd shifted, murmurs, questions. Who was he? Why was he bidding? What did he want with an ordinary she-wolf? 1,000, another bidder. Suddenly competitive, suddenly interested. The singing had changed my value, made me interesting, made me worth acquiring. 2,000, the silver-eyed stranger countered. No hesitation, no negotiation, just absolute certainty. The bidding escalated. 3,000, 5,000, 7,000. Far beyond my worth, far beyond logic, all because of a melody I'd hummed to calm my nerves. 10,000, the stranger said, ending it, claiming victory, claiming me. 10,000 silver, going once, going twice, sold. He approached, paid, took the ownership papers, looked at me with eyes that saw too much, knew too much, understood something I didn't. "Come," he said, simply, commandingly. "You're mine now." I followed, because I had no choice, because he'd bought me, because he owned me now, however temporarily, however strangely. We walked through the market, out the gates, toward a carriage, ornate, expensive, royal. "Who are you?" I asked, finally, needing to know, needing to understand. Someone who's been searching for a voice like yours for a very long time, and finally found it. My voice. Why? What's special about my voice? Everything. You just don't know it yet. But you will. Soon. Chapter 3. The Journey to the Palace. The revelation we'd been traveling for an hour when I finally asked the question burning through me. You paid 10,000 silver. For me. Because of my voice. That doesn't make sense. I'm not a trained singer. I'm not anything special. Why? The melody you hummed. Do you know what it is? What it means? It's a lullaby. My mother taught me. She said it was traditional. Old. That's all I know. It's a royal calling song, from the ancient times, when the first Alpha Kings ruled. It was sung to summon the rightful ruler, to identify the one worthy of the crown. Only certain voices can produce the harmonics, the layered tones, the resonance that marks legitimacy. I don't understand. What does an ancient royal song have to do with me? You can sing it perfectly, without training, without understanding. That means you carry the bloodline, the genetic markers that produce that specific vocal capability. You're descended from the original royal line. I stared at him, certain he was mistaken, delusional, wrong. I'm not royal. I'm the unwanted third daughter of a beta. My bloodline is unremarkable, ordinary. You're confusing me with someone else. I'm not confused. I've been searching for someone who can sing the calling song for 5 years. Hundreds of wolves tested. None could produce the harmonics. Then I heard you, in an auction market, humming it unconsciously. You're exactly who I've been seeking. The identity, who are you? I asked again, needing clarity, needing truth, needing to understand who had claimed me and why. Alpha King Darius Shadowthorn, ruler of the 7 territories. And I bought you because your voice proves you're the last living descendant of the original royal bloodline. The line everyone thought was extinct. My world tilted. The Alpha King. He was the Alpha King. And he thought I was... what? Royal? Descended from ancient rulers? That's impossible. I'm nobody. My family wanted to forget me, sell me, get rid of me. If I was royal, they'd know. They'd value me. They didn't know. Your mother was adopted, taken in by a beta family as an orphan. She never knew her true heritage, never knew she carried the royal bloodline. Neither did you. Until now. How do you know this? How can you be certain? The song. Only the royal bloodline can sing it properly. The harmonics are genetic. Impossible to replicate without the specific vocal structure that comes from that lineage. You sang it perfectly, therefore you carry the blood. The purpose. Why were you searching? Why does it matter if the royal bloodline exists? You're already king. You have the crown, the power. What do you need an extinct bloodline for? Legitimacy. The current royal line, my line, is new. 3 generations. We took the crown through conquest, through strength. But some territories don't accept that. Don't recognize our authority. They want the original line restored. They're causing conflicts, rebellions, instability. So you want to use me as proof, as legitimacy, as a way to consolidate power. I want to unite the kingdom, restore peace. And yes, I want to use your heritage to do that, but not against your will. I'm not your family. I won't discard you, won't forget you. I'll value you, protect you, give you the life you deserve. In exchange for what? My voice? My bloodline? What do you want from me? I want you to become my queen. Mate me. Unite the bloodlines, old and new. Create legitimacy through partnership. Bring peace to the kingdom through our bonding. I laughed, bitter, disbelieving. You want to mate me? You don't even know me, don't love me. You just want what my blood represents. I want what you can help me achieve, but I also want you safe, valued, protected. Your family sold you to be forgotten, I'm claiming you to be remembered. That's better. Even if it starts strategically. The choice. What if I refuse? What if I don't want to be queen? Don't want to mate you? Don't want any of this? Then I'll still protect you. Still keep you safe. Still ensure your family can't reclaim you or harm you. But I'd prefer your cooperation. Your willing participation. Your partnership. Why? You're the king. You could just force this. Command it. Make it happen, whether I agree or not. Because a forced queen is worthless for my purposes. I need the territories to accept you, respect you, follow you. That only happens if you're genuine, willing, real. Forcing you defeats the purpose. We sat in silence, the carriage rolling toward the palace. My entire world unrecognizable. My understanding of myself shattered. I was royal, apparently. Descended from ancient kings. The last of a bloodline everyone thought was extinct. And the current king wanted to mate me, use me, unite the kingdom through my heritage. My family sold me to be forgotten. The king claimed me to be remembered. As a symbol, as a tool, as legitimacy given form. I need time, I said finally. Time to process. Time to understand. Time to decide if I'm willing to be what you need me to be. You have time, but not unlimited. The kingdom is unstable. The rebellions are growing. I need to act soon. Weeks, not months. Can you decide within that time frame? I can try. Good enough. For now. Chapter 4. The Palace. First week. Arrival. The royal palace was beyond anything I'd imagined. Massive, opulent, intimidating. The center of power for the 7 territories. These are your chambers, Darius said, showing me to a suite larger than my entire family home. Private, comfortable, yours for as long as you're here. As long as I'm here? You said I couldn't leave. You can't return to your family. They sold you. They have no claim. But if you decide against becoming queen, I'll find you alternative placement. Somewhere safe. Somewhere you can build a life. You're not a prisoner. That surprised me. I'd expected captivity, coercion, force. Instead, options. Freedom within constraints. Thank you. For that. For not trapping me completely. I need your willing cooperation. Trapping you ensures resistance. Giving you choice ensures consideration. I'm strategic, not cruel. The explanation. The first 3 days brought extensive explanations. About the royal bloodline, about my heritage, about what it meant. The original royal line ruled for 2,000 years, a historian explained. Maps and texts spread before us. They were marked by specific traits, silver-flecked eyes, exceptional vocal abilities, unusual healing capabilities. Do you have any of these? My eyes are brown, plain brown, no silver. Look closer. In certain light. Do you see flecks, hints of silver? I looked in a mirror, really looked, and saw, yes, tiny silver flecks in my brown eyes. So small I'd never noticed, but present, undeniable. I see them, but they're so faint. How does that prove anything? The trait dilutes over generations without royal mating. Your mother was orphaned, mated to a beta. You're the product of diluted bloodline mixing with common blood. The traits are faint, but present. Recoverable through proper mating. Proper mating meaning mating with current royalty, with the king. The combination would strengthen the traits. Your children would have stronger silver eyes, stronger vocal abilities, stronger connection to the original bloodline. Children. They were already planning children, planning how to use me to create legitimacy, to build a future, to consolidate power. The training days 4 through 7 brought training, voice training, specifically. The calling song you hummed has 7 verses, a vocal instructor explained. You unconsciously hummed verse 3, the lullaby portion, but there are 6 others, each with different purpose, different power. Power. It's just a song, How does it have power? Royal songs were created with intention, with magic, with purpose. The calling song specifically was designed to resonate with wolf souls, to influence, to command, to lead. A properly trained royal voice can inspire armies, calm riots, unite factions. That's why it matters. That's why you matter. We spent hours training, learning the other verses, understanding how each one functioned, how each one could be used. Verse 1, unity, bringing wolves together, creating pack bonds across territories. Verse 2, peace, calming aggression, soothing conflict, preventing violence. Verse 3, comfort, the lullaby, bringing rest, easing pain, healing wounds. Verse 4, strength, inspiring courage, bolstering resolve, empowering warriors. Verse 5, truth, revealing deception, exposing lies, demanding honesty. Verse 6, authority, commanding obedience, asserting dominance, establishing hierarchy. Verse 7, binding, creating permanent bonds, sealing oaths, uniting souls. Each verse had power, real, tangible power, and I could sing them all, perfectly, without training, because my genetics allowed it, because my bloodline carried the capability. This is extraordinary, the instructor said, awed, excited. You're untrained but perfect. With proper development, you could be the most powerful vocal influence in the kingdom's history. I don't want to be powerful. I just want to be, to exist without being used. Too late for that. You're royal. That means you'll be used. By someone. The question is, will you choose who uses you? Or will you let others make that choice for you? The king's visits. Each evening, Darius visited, checking on my progress, assessing my adjustment, building something, connection, understanding, foundation. How are you managing? He'd ask, genuinely, not perfunctorily. I'm overwhelmed, learning I'm royal, learning I have power, learning I'm valuable for the first time in my life. It's a lot. I imagine it is. Your family told you that you were worthless, ordinary, forgettable. Now you're discovering you're none of those things. That dissonance is difficult. Did you know when you heard me hum? Did you know immediately what I was? I suspected. The harmonics were right. The resonance matched historical descriptions. But I wasn't certain until you sang the full verse 3. Then I knew. You were exactly what I'd been searching for. And you don't care that I'm me, Thalia? You just care that I'm royal? I care that you're both. Royal heritage gives us political value, but you, Thalia, you give us human value, authenticity, reality, both matter. You say that now, but when it comes to actually mating me, actually making me queen, will you still care about Thalia? Or just about the royal bloodline she carries? I don't know yet. I'm being honest. Right now, I value what you represent. Whether I'll come to value who you are, that's still developing. Ask me again in a few weeks. His honesty was refreshing, painful, but real. Better than false promises. Better than pretending this was romance, when it was strategy. Chapter 5. The Territories. Weeks 2 to 4. The Tour. Week 2 brought travel. Touring the 7 territories. Showing me the kingdom. Demonstrating the conflicts. Making the situation real. The northern territories are stable, Darius explained as we traveled. They accepted my family's rule. Support our authority. No problems there. And the others? The eastern territories are neutral. Not loyal, but not rebellious. They're watching. Waiting to see which way power shifts before committing. The southern and western territories, those are the problems. They want the original royal line restored. They're harboring rebels, causing instability, threatening war. And you think me becoming queen will fix that? I think you proving the bloodlines are united will remove their justification. They can't demand restoration of the original line if that line is already ruling, through you, through our mating. The Eastern Territories. We visited the Eastern Territories first, neutral ground, testing how people would react to me, to my heritage, to the possibility of me as queen. The king has brought someone, the Eastern Alpha observed, studying me, assessing. Who is she? Thalia of the Crescent Moon Pack, last living descendant of the original royal bloodline. Sing verse 1 for him. I did. Sang the Unity verse, felt the power flow, felt it reach out, touch the wolves present, create connection, build bonds. The Eastern Alpha's eyes widened. I felt that. The binding, the connection. She's actually royal? Proven by voice, proven by blood, proven by ability. She carries the original line. If she becomes my queen, the bloodlines unite. Old and new. One rule. One kingdom. That would change everything. The Southern and Western Territories couldn't claim the original line was extinct if she's ruling. They'd lose justification for rebellion. Exactly, which is why I need her cooperation, her willing participation, her genuine acceptance of the role. All eyes turned to me, waiting, anticipating, expecting. I haven't decided yet, I said, firmly, clearly. I'm considering, but I haven't committed. My decision will come when I'm ready, not before. The Southern Territories. The Southern Territories were hostile, openly. The Alpha there, Marcus Ironwood, refused to acknowledge Darius's authority. You're a conqueror, Marcus said bluntly. Your grandfather took the crown by force. We never accepted that, never recognized your legitimacy. We wait for the true line's return. The true line is here, Darius said, gesturing to me. Thalia carries the original royal blood, proven by voice, by ability, by heritage. Convenient. You find someone who can sing old songs and claim she's royal. How do we know this isn't fabricated? How do we know you're not using her to create false legitimacy? Test her yourself, have her sing the verses, feel the power. Deny it if you can. Marcus agreed. Skeptical. Certain I'd fail. Certain this was deception. I sang verse 5, truth. The verse that revealed lies, exposed deception, demanded honesty. As I sang, Marcus's own deceptions surfaced. His secret alliance with Western rebels. His plans to assassinate Darius. His intention to seize power himself and claim the crown. She's pulling my secrets out, Marcus gasped, making me speak truth I never intended to reveal. This is real power. Royal power. Exactly. She's royal. Legitimately. Unquestionably. If she becomes my queen, your rebellion loses justification. Will you accept her? Accept our united rule? Marcus hesitated, trapped by his own revealed treachery, forced to acknowledge what I was, what I could do. I need time to consider, to consult with my territory. This changes everything. The Western Territories. The Western Territories were worse, more hostile, more resistant, more determined to reject Darius's rule. We don't accept conquerors, the Western Alpha, Elena Stormcrest, declared. We want original royal bloodline rule. Nothing less, nothing else. Certainly not a conquered kingdom pretending to be unified. The original bloodline is here, Darius repeated, patient, persistent. Thalia is the last descendant. She carries the power, the abilities, the heritage. Mate me, and she unites the lines. Gives you what you want while maintaining stability. Or she's a planted fraud, a convenient tool, a fabricated legitimacy. Prove she's real, prove she's worthy, then we'll consider. Elena demanded I sing all 7 verses, one after another, demonstrating complete mastery, complete power, complete authenticity. I did, exhausting myself, pouring power into each verse, each song, each demonstration. By the end, Elena was silent, awed, convinced. You're real. You're actually royal. I felt it. The power, the legitimacy, The connection to ancient rulers. You're everything we've been waiting for. Then accept her as queen. Accept our unified rule. End the rebellions. Bring peace. On one condition. She must choose this. Willingly. Genuinely. I won't follow a queen who's being coerced, who's being used against her will. She must want the crown, want the role, want to rule. Prove that, and I'll accept her. All eyes on me. Again. Always. Waiting for my decision. My commitment. My acceptance. I still need time, I said, voice steady despite exhaustion. I'm not being coerced, but I'm also not ready to commit. When I decide, you'll know. But that decision is mine. Not his. Not yours. Mine. The return. We returned to the palace after 3 weeks of travel. 3 weeks of demonstrations. 3 weeks of demands. 3 weeks of pressure. You're exhausted, Darius observed. Concerned. Genuinely, I thought. The tours were too much. Too demanding. They were necessary. I needed to see the kingdom, understand the conflicts, know what I'd be taking on if I accept. And, are you closer to a decision? Yes, but I'm not ready to share it yet. Soon. Very soon. But not yet. Fair enough. Take the time you need. Within reason. Within reason meaning? Weeks, not months. The rebellions are escalating. I need to act before they become open war. Can you decide within the month? Yes, 1 month. I'll have my answer by then. Chapter 6. The decision, week 4. The reflection. I spent the 4th week reflecting, processing, deciding. My family sold me to be forgotten, called me worthless, ordinary, unmarketable, sent me to an auction to disappear. The king claimed me because of my voice, because of my heritage, because I was exactly the opposite of what my family believed. Valuable, powerful, essential. Who am I? I asked my reflection, looking at the silver flecks in my eyes, the royal markers I'd never noticed. Am I Thalia the ordinary, or Thalia the royal? Can I be both? The answer was yes. I could be both, was both. The ordinary daughter who loved books and singing, the royal descendant who carried ancient power. Both were true. Both were me. What do I want? That was harder to answer. Did I want to be queen? Want the power? Want the responsibility? Want the politics? Want the constant pressure? Or did I want simplicity? Safety? A quiet life somewhere peaceful? Away from conflicts and rebellions and demands? The conversation. I requested a private meeting with Darius. Just the two of us. No advisors. No pressure. No audience. I need honesty from you, I said. Complete honesty. About what mating me would mean. About what you'd expect. About what this would actually be. Ask anything. I'll answer honestly. Do you care about me? At all? As Thalia? Or am I just a strategic asset? A tool to consolidate power? He considered. Carefully. Truthfully. When I first heard you sing, you were a tool. A solution to a problem. A way to unite the kingdom. That's honest. That's where this started. And now? Now I've spent 4 weeks with you. Watching you learn. Watching you grow. Watching you handle pressure with grace and intelligence. Now you're more. Not quite love. Not yet. But more than a tool. More than strategy. You're becoming real to me. Becoming Thalia, not just the royal descendant. That's honest. Thank you. What about you? Do you have feelings for me? Or am I just the alternative to being forgotten? The better option than being sold? My turn for honesty. Difficult honesty. You're the first person who ever valued me, saw worth in me, chose me deliberately. That's powerful. Intoxicating. Is it love? No, not yet. But it's potential, possibility, interest. You're becoming real to me too. Then we're both in the same place. Not love, but potential. Can we build from that? I think so, if we're both willing to try. Both willing to see each other as real. Not just roles, not just strategy. Real. I'm willing. Are you? The answer, I've made my decision, I said. About becoming queen. About mating you. About accepting the role. And? Yes. I'll do it. I'll become your queen. Your mate. Your partner. I'll unite the bloodlines. I'll help bring peace to the kingdom. I'll use my voice, my power, my heritage. I'll do all of it. Why? What convinced you? Because my family wanted to forget me, and you're offering to make me unforgettable. Because they said I was worthless, and you're proving I'm invaluable. Because they discarded me, and you're claiming me. That's enough. That's reason enough. Not love? Not yet, but potential. And that's more than I had before, more than I ever expected. Enough to build on. He smiled. Genuine, relieved, happy. Then we'll build. Together. As partners, as mates, as king and queen. We'll unite the kingdom. And maybe, along the way, we'll find love too. Maybe. No promises. But maybe. Maybe is enough. For now. The announcement, the next day Darius announced our engagement. Kingdom-wide. Immediate. Public. The Alpha King will mate Thalia of the Crescent Moon Pack, last living descendant of the original royal bloodline. The union will occur within the month. The bloodlines will unite. Old and new will become one. The kingdom will have a queen of both conquest and heritage. Peace will be restored. The reactions were mixed. The northern and eastern territories celebrated. The southern and western territories were cautiously accepting. The rebels lost justification. The conflicts began to ease. My family, my former family, heard the announcement, realized what they'd done, what they'd sold, who they'd discarded. My father sent a message, desperate, pathetic. Thalia, we made a mistake. We didn't know. We didn't realize. Come home. We'll make this right. I burned the message, didn't respond, didn't acknowledge. They'd sold me to be forgotten. I'd forgotten them instead, permanently, completely, justly. Chapter 7. The Mating. 1 month later. The ceremony. The mating ceremony was massive, all 7 territories represented. Thousands of wolves in attendance. The entire kingdom watching as the bloodlines united. I, Darius Shadowthorn, Alpha King of the 7 territories, accept Thalia, last of the original royal line, as my chosen mate. I unite conquest with heritage, strength with legitimacy, new with old. I bind myself to her, permanently, completely, forever. I, Thalia, last descendant of the ancient royal bloodline, accept Darius Shadowthorn as my chosen mate. I unite heritage with conquest, legitimacy with strength, old with new. I bind myself to him, permanently, completely, forever. The bonds formed, silver threads visible to those with the sight, connecting us, uniting us, making us one. Then I sang, verse 7, binding, the verse that sealed oaths, united souls, created permanent connections. As I sang, the bond deepened, strengthened, became unbreakable. The kingdom felt it. The territories witnessed it. The unity became real. The bloodlines are united, Darius announced. The kingdom is whole. The rebellions are ended. Peace is restored. And it was. The southern and western territories accepted our rule. The rebels disbanded. The conflicts ended. Because I sang. Because I bonded. Because I united what had been broken. The truth that night, in our private chambers, Darius made a confession. I need to tell you something. About the auction. About how I found you. What about it? It wasn't coincidence. I'd been having your family investigated. Your mother's orphan status raised questions. Genetic markers suggested possible royal heritage. I was tracking you, planning to approach you, offer you testing, see if you carried the bloodline. You were investigating me, before the auction? Yes. Then your family announced they were selling you. I saw opportunity, went to the auction, waited to hear your voice, confirm my suspicions. When you hummed the calling song, I knew, immediately, completely. You were exactly what I'd been searching for. So this was all planned, all strategic, all calculated. The finding of you was calculated. The claiming of you was necessity. But what's happened since? That's been real. Us becoming partners, friends, potentially more. That wasn't calculated. That's been genuine. You should have told me sooner. I know, I'm sorry. I thought if you knew it was planned, you'd feel more manipulated, more used. I wanted you to feel chosen, not targeted. I do feel chosen, but I also feel deceived. You should have been honest from the beginning. You're right. I'm sorry. Will you forgive me? I considered, weighed, decided. Yes, I'll forgive you, because you've been honest now, because you're trying, because you've given me more than my family ever did, but no more secrets, no more strategic omissions, complete honesty, always. Complete honesty, I promise. The growth over the following months, our relationship evolved, from strategic partnership to genuine friendship to something more. I think I'm falling for you, I admitted 6 months after the mating. Not because you're king, not because you saved me from being forgotten, because you're Darius, because you value me, because you've become my partner in every sense. I fell for you months ago, he admitted. Somewhere between watching you learn the verses and watching you command the territories. You became more than a strategic asset. You became the she-wolf I couldn't imagine ruling without. The partner I needed. The mate I wanted. I love you, Thalia. I love you too. Finally. Genuinely. Completely. The final verse. 1 year after the auction, I performed the calling song publicly. All 7 verses, one after another, demonstrating complete mastery, complete power, complete authority. Verse 1, unity, binding the territories together, creating unbreakable pact bonds. Verse 2, peace, ending all remaining conflicts, soothing all lingering aggression. Verse 3, comfort, healing the wounded, easing the traumatized, bringing rest to the weary. Verse 4, strength, inspiring the warriors, empowering the protectors, bolstering the defenders. Verse 5, truth, revealing remaining deceptions, exposing hidden lies, demanding absolute honesty. Verse 6, authority, establishing hierarchy, commanding obedience, asserting dominance. Verse 7, binding, sealing our united rule, creating permanent bonds, uniting all souls under our reign. The kingdom was whole, united, peaceful, strong, because of my voice, because of my heritage, because I chose to be remembered instead of forgotten. Epilogue. 2 years later, standing in the royal gardens, watching my daughter play, I reflected on how far I'd come. 2 years ago, I was on an auction block, being sold to be forgotten, told I was worthless, ordinary, unmarketable. Today, I was queen, beloved, powerful, essential. The she-wolf who united a kingdom with her voice. What are you thinking about? Darius asked, joining me. Our daughter between us. About the auction, about humming that melody, about you claiming me. Regrets? None. My family wanted to forget me. You made me unforgettable. They said I was worthless. You proved I was invaluable. Best thing that ever happened to me was being sold to that market. Best thing that happened to me was hearing you sing, finding you, claiming you, building this with you. Our daughter hummed, a melody, an old one, verse 3, the lullaby, the comfort song. She has the voice, I said, awed, delighted. She carries the bloodline, the power, the heritage. She carries your strength, your courage, your grace. The voice is just a bonus. There's a portrait in the throne room, of the auction, of me standing on the block, of Darius claiming me, of the moment everything changed. The plaque reads, auctioned to be forgotten, claimed by the king because of her voice, the beginning of unity. Because that's what happened. I was sold to disappear. He claimed me to unite a kingdom. My voice, the thing my family never valued, became the thing that changed history. Sometimes being ordinary is the greatest disguise for being extraordinary. Sometimes being forgotten leads to being remembered forever. Sometimes a melody hummed in anxiety becomes the song that saves a kingdom. I was auctioned. I was claimed. I sang. And I became unforgettable. The voice that my family dismissed became the voice that claimed a king, that united a kingdom, that built a legacy, and I wouldn't change a single thing. Closing. And there you have it, my beautiful dreamers. The story of Thalia and Darius, proof that being discarded can lead to being discovered. Ordinary voices can hold extraordinary power, and sometimes being sold to be forgotten is exactly what makes you unforgettable. Did this story move you? Did you feel Thalia's journey from worthless to invaluable? Did you believe in the power of her voice and Darius's claim? Then show me some love. Hit that like button, drop a comment telling me what you think about the auction and the claiming, and subscribe to Luna's romance audiobooks so you never miss another tale of voices in value. I want to know, if you had a power you didn't know about, what would you want it to be? Tell me in the comments. Until next time, my dreamers, may your hidden gifts be discovered, may your value be recognized, and may you find someone who claims you for exactly who you are. This is Luna, signing off. Sweet dreams, beautiful souls.